going on, you guys? KG Presents back out with another video today. I'm here with episode 7 now, my San Antonio Spurs MyNBA franchise series. If you're all ready, I'm ready. Let's get into this video and let's get started. So obviously we are now here in the off season following the conclusion of last season. The Phoenix Suns ended up winning the NBA championship, but let's change it this time. Hopefully next year is going to be different and maybe the Spurs win next year, although I probably wouldn't say they will. Anyways, unfortunately, Greg Popovich has retired, so we are on the look now for a new head coach. Greg Popovich, one of the best coaches of all time, I should say. And it's going to be very disappointing without him now being on the Spurs. However, this was pretty much inevitable. As you can see, he's had 32 years in the league. So congrats to Greg Pop on retirement. In the draft lottery, we do end up with the 3rd pick here in the NBA draft. So we probably are going to get something really good out of this as well. Hopefully, whoever we end up drafting is going to be crucial to our team going forward. Michael Stauffer is now our new head coach for this upcoming season. He's hopefully going to do an incredible job here, but you can never truly replace Greg Popovich as your coach. So checking out the roster, obviously we have our point guard situation set, at least for the starting point guard backup. Blake Wesley, I don't really think is going to be the long-term answer. Vassell and Isaiah Joe and Branham, I think is pretty solid here. Keldon Johnson, and Neesmith and Tate. I think I do like Sochan as our starting power forward. Collins off the bench behind them. So I don't really think the position is going to matter too much here. In the NBA draft, Lionel Vincent is going to go number 1 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Number 2 is Chuck Byers to the Orlando Magic. So now we're on the clock here with the 3rd pick. I do want to test actually the trade market too, because I kind of just want to see like who they're going to say that like, oh, we potentially could acquire. We do have the 18th pick as well in this draft. Strus and LeVert, Smart. Sexton and we can get Jalen Brunson. I would definitely 100% get Jalen Brunson on this roster. However, I do pride this on realism, and that's not realistic. They're not going to trade Jalen Brunson for a 3rd pick. So obviously, nothing's, I don't think like too crazy here that like I'm going to say like, oh, we need to 100% do and get on the team. Although I would truly love Jalen Brunson on the roster, that's not going to happen here. This one might be more interesting, though, and get Anthony Simons on the team as our 2 guard. However, I do like Vassell. So I think, obviously, the most realistic thing that we need to do is just choose our prospect and choose who we are going to draft. They're saying that Herb May is the best player available here at 78 overall, and not a single team offered him or anything yet. So that is what we're going to do. So we're going to draft him. Boom. He is now on our team. As now we have our 1st pick here. We're going to send it to the next pick. We have the 18th pick in the draft. It doesn't really matter who we pick. We can get, we're going to go with Joffrey Lowe, because why not? Also, this is not the real draft class, because I wanted to just make it like realistic in the sense of you don't know like what's going to happen here, especially in real life. Or some of these draft classes that they have going into the future here aren't the most realistic. So I just wanted to do just a 2K generated one here. Team player options, we're going to have Jeremy Sochan, Isaiah Joe. Of course, we're going to accept. We're going to accept Branham as well. We will accept Blake Wesley. Jashawn Tate's got a $7 million team option. And I will accept it only with the exceptions that I'm probably going to trade him. So he's probably going to be on the move once again. Qualifying offer, of course, to all of these players here. Got to maintain them on the roster. Devin Vassell wants $23 million, bro. That's a ton of money. I'll give him the flat contract here and see what's going to happen here. We'll renounce the rights to Doug McDermott, and that's pretty much like, we can't really afford like anything too crazy out there. So we're going to get him back on the team. So we do have some interesting moves we have to make. Also, I realized that Zach Collins was a free agent, and I think I just let Zach Collins walk. So that's kind of interesting. Although, I wouldn't say that Zach Collins is the long-term answer here. Yes, Zach Collins signed elsewhere. I wouldn't say that he's the long-term answer to this team. I would love to bring back, where is he? Aaron Neesmith onto the roster if he's available somewhere. Can't find him. But we do still have some work to do, because I mean, somehow we can afford Drew Holiday. That's actually interesting. imagine we sign LeBron. We're not going to sign LeBron, but we can afford some more players on this roster here. So let's check out the line. So Trey Jones, honestly, I do like Trey Jones, but like, is he starting caliber point guard worthy? That's the real question. Is he going to be a starting point guard? Or is he going to be a backup? Vassell, I really like as a 2. I think he's fine. Isaiah Joe off the bench, I think that's pretty solid there. Kel Johnson and now Herb May, our draft pick, I think is going to be pretty good. Sochan at the 4, I do like, but is he the long-term answer? Who knows? So that means we're probably going to need either a 4 or a point guard. And I don't know if I would sign Drew Holiday, but I would definitely sign Lonzo if he wasn't asking for $33 million here. Because I do want to potentially bring in one of these, one of these younger players onto the roster here that could truly affect the course of how things are going, really. Backup center here, I would love to sign Claxton, but we do have Victor. And obviously we're not replacing Victor. Victor is the future. So any of these guys, Jalen Duren's is for $30 million. That's crazy. And Wiseman, that's 31. Oh my God. We do need a backup center here, a replacement now on the roster. So we're probably just going to look to sign cheap for that, but that's probably not on the first list of our priorities. I do want to bring in a guard here, and I actually kind of do want to. Drew's asking for so much money though, so I don't know if I would really. I don't really want to pay Drew Holiday $30 million. That's just a ton of money. But none of these other players are like, out of the question, like, they're going to be super beneficial to the roster here. So I'm kind of in a tough situation because we still have so much money here. Let me actually look to trade Jae'Sean Tate first while I have the opportunity to do so. Get a first round pick for us. Get Duncan Robinson. We did free up so much money this offseason here, especially with some of the contracts like Fournier. Obviously that was a big one, but we traded him in the last video. We're actually gonna do this just to get Carlik Jones on the roster. It's just more to get the first round pick from the Bulls. So sorry about that, Jae'Sean Tate. We now have another first round pick on the roster. Trade Finder, I kind of don't really want to move anyone else. I think everyone else here is pretty solid for us. So we do need another power forward on the team. And I do like Sochan, but Sochan potentially might not be the long-term answer, but you never know. You do never know. I'd like to bring in someone more like a veteran into this, and I do kind of like Caleb Martin. I think Caleb Martin would be a good fit coming into this team. So we offer him 2 years, probably a flat contract here, and do about $13 million just to get someone else on the roster here. I do need to bring back Nesmith as well, but I can't seem to find Nesmith on this one. Makes no sense because he's a 76, and he's just not appearing whatsoever. Oh, there he is. Nesmith's asking for that much, so we're going to sign Nesmith back. Let's see what's going to happen first. We do sign Caleb Martin, so that is good for us. We're going to bring back Nesmith as well. So now we do have... so we could probably bring in another center as well off the bench. I do kind of like Poku, but not for $15 million. That's a lot for Poku. Who else is pretty much here? We don't really have anything too crazy. I bring Jalen Williams for over $10 million. The asking price for some of these players is actually ridiculous. Let's go. We'll bring in Drummond. We're going to bring in Drummond he's not asking for much. We'll give him 1 year contract. We'll give him $5 million. He should sign that. Sorry, Sandro. We're going to kick you out here for Andre Drummond. And I think that's the entire lineup here that we're going to rock with. Oh, actually, we sent him the qualifying offer. That's my fault. I forgot we did that for only $2 million. So here's the lineup we're going with next season here. Actually, player progression first. Victor's now up to an 88. Devin Vassell's an 83. Keldon Johnson is an 80. Sochan is an 80. Caleb Martin is an 80. Trey Jones is 79. Branham 78. Drummond 78. And look at these guys. We are doing incredible here. So it was a great start off to already next season. So I'll catch up with you guys with the rotation at that point. So here's the line we'll be rocking with in year 2. Trey Jones at the point guard, Devin Vassell at the 2, Keldon Johnson at the 3, Sochan at the 4, and Victor, of course, at the 5. Off the bench, we're going to have our draft pick, Herb May, along with Caleb Martin, Malachi Branham, Andre Drummond, and Isaiah Joe. Hopefully this team's going to be pretty good this season. I do actually kind of like this team. Look at the overalls, but definitely improving here. We have a lot of pretty much 80 overalls. The lowest is the 77. Isaiah Joe is pretty solid for a 77 overall. So hopefully next season we're going to improve, and I'm going to catch up with you guys in that video, which is going to be the next one. We're going to do opening night of season 2. So if you're all ready, I'm ready. We'll do that next time. I'll see you then.